Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I know it's 29th of January. However, today actually happens to be Lunar New Year, which is something my family celebrates. But Happy New Year and welcome to Provolution Health's first workshop of 2025. And we're kicking off the year starting with a topic in which we all seem to be affected by, and that is pain. And today's topic is really about understanding pain and how pain is related and can be linked with chiropractic care and why, I guess, we can be quite successful with pain. Now, I'm just going to go share my screen now, and that way you can follow along. Alrighty. So today's workshop, the first one of the year, is on understanding pain, and I want to take you through the keys to unlocking a pain-free life through chiropractic and neuroplasticity. If you don't know what that means, we'll touch base on it in just a second. In greater detail, we'll be discussing what is pain, what are the types of pain, what's the nerve pathway of pain, and how does the brain adapt to pain or anything in general, which is neuroplasticity, and how there's a link between chronic pain as well as neuroplasticity. And most importantly, in my opinion, the best part is how is chiropractic linked to neuroplasticity? So what is pain? Pain is really complex, right? And there are actually lots of definitions for pain, but I personally like this one, which talks about how pain is a complex sensory and emotional experience that serves as the body's alarm system, being that it's not just physical, but also mental and emotional as well. And what it often means, being the alarm system, is it often indicates there is a problem going on or potential problem, in other words, tissue damage. Now, pain is subjective. It varies between person to person. And that's why it's really hard to quantify exactly what someone's pain is experiencing. Someone's experiencing the pain. So someone might have a high pain tolerance. It could be a 10 for somebody, could be a 2 for someone else. Pain is, once again, like I said, it's an alarm system, but it's a great way of protecting our body to keep us safe and away from danger. So what happens is when danger is detected by the body, it sends information to the brain. And with that information, it may or may not create pain, and that's decided based on all the information that it's had in the past, as well as past experiences. So danger detectors, they signal when tissue is approaching its safe limit, and that's when most pain gets prevented by tissue damage. But when a tissue gets damaged, that's when the danger detectors become much more sensitive. So what are the types of pain? Now, first I'm going to be talking about acute and chronic pain. So acute pain is something when it lasts for less than 12 weeks, and it's usually after something has happened. For example, it could be you've lifted something much heavier than you're really capable of. And so it's a way of your body telling you that, hey, something's really wrong here. And with acute pain, it happens doesn't last any longer than 12 weeks. Otherwise, it gets classified as chronic pain, and it really occurs for only a specific amount of time. Meanwhile, like I said, chronic pain, it does last longer, any pain that lasts longer than 12 weeks. And it can have really no cause. But in saying that, if it is caused by a trigger, the pain usually comes from the original cause of the acute pain. Now, with chronic pain, it's ongoing, and there's no exact date of how long it really lasts for. Two other sectors of pain I want to talk about today is nociceptive pain and neuropathic pain. Now, nociceptive pain is when something's occurred from damage, and whereas neuropathic pain is similar, but it's actually pain from damage to the pain system itself, which is the nervous system. So nociceptive is when something's happened, ouch. Neuropathic pain is damage all the way at the root, which is at the nervous system. So with nociceptive pain, which is nervous system pain, it can be subdivided again into two categories, somatic and visceral. So somatic is your body, your actual body, and things that line up against the cavity, whereas visceral means your organs. So somatic being, nociceptive pain can be in your bones, your joints, connective tissues, and muscles, whereas visceral pain is your organs, such as your heart, your liver, your pancreas, and gut, and so forth. So with nociceptive pain that happens as an ouch, it's local pain. So it's localized, and it often can either feel dull, ache, or sharp, and it really often heals just on its own, such as you would have nociceptive pain if you've accidentally knocked your knuckle or got a cut. And so it will resolve when the damaged tissues heal. But obviously, if the trigger keeps happening, it can be chronic. But generally, over time, the intensity of the pain does decrease. Whereas on the other hand, neuropathic pain, in my opinion, can be considered worse because it actually often follows a nerve pathway, and over time, it actually gets worse. So the pain, also sensation can also feel worse because you'll feel a sensation of like shooting pain, burning, pins and needles, tingling, or even stabbing pain. And a lot of the time, neuropathic pain is often linked with a chronic condition. So what are some condition examples of these two types of pain? So nociceptive pain can be like your disc bulge, arthritic pain, or your mechanical low back pain, such as like from sitting down all day or long drive, or a sports or exercise injury. Whereas neuropathic pain, a common example is sciatica. We've all heard of that, but some other common ones that we might not come around as much as trigeminal neuralgia, or CRPS, which stands for complex regional pain syndrome, which is when someone's nervous system is so greatly affected that their nervous system can't even comprehend where the pain is, and it's everywhere for no apparent reason. Or neuropathic pain can also be diabetic neuropathy, and someone can have neuropathic pain in their legs, really from diabetes. So pain, like I said earlier, pain is what's perceived and received by the brain. So what happens is in any part of the body, whether it be a visceral or a somatic, so here we have somatic, a muscle, and in the muscle, the cells are nociceptors, and the nociceptors will pick up the danger and alert the pain by traveling up the afferent fibers into the spinal cord, specifically in the dorsal horn region, and more specifically, the bunch of cells called the substantia gelatinosa, and that's when it travels out and up into the brain, and that's how the brain receives the message of pain. So when we get to the brain, what can we do about the pain though? The brain is so intelligent. It can adapt to everything, almost everything within reason, but it does that so through neuroplasticity. So neuroplasticity is the way your brain can adapt to stresses and responses. So in our brain, we have a few lobes, and the front cortex, which is we call the prefrontal cortex, it has multiple functions and things that it does, such as helping you mostly decide. Executive functions are the most common one, best one, and that's what helps you decide and make decisions, have a good memory, think and plan and prioritize. But one of the other things that the prefrontal cortex does is right here, pain processing, right? And this is what we're talking about this whole time. So in 2016, there was a study published in the Journal of Neuroplasticity that found that chiropractic spinal adjustments increase activity in the brain's prefrontal cortex by almost 20% on average. Like, this is huge. So imagine, right? With every adjustment, boom, this happens, boom, and then the brain gets stimulated at the prefrontal cortex, and it processes the pain by increasing the activity 20%. Like, that's just amazing. So let me go into greater detail about the journey of chiropractic and how chiropractic links to the pain journey. So I guess over 80% of the time when a patient comes into a chiropractic practice, they often present with pain. So it's some sort of symptoms that they don't like and they want to get it resolved. And hasn't just really just happened for no reason, but it's happened. And when they've had the symptoms for a while, that's when they often seek help. So when they come in to see the chiropractor, like myself, first what we do is we would have to check the spine for joint dysfunction. And then that is part of the spine that's not moving or functioning normally. So as chiropractors, we call this joint dysfunction a subluxation. And a subluxation is what interferes with normal brain function. And normal brain function is that which is part of like the receiving and perceiving pain messages. So our brain, right, it's continuously monitoring and integrating sensory information from all around the body to perform movements. It's the feedback into the body to the brain from our 5 senses, but also it's the organs as well. It's always providing information. So when we have the integration of the sensory information of what we're feeling to perform the motor commands, this is what we call sensory motor integration. Now, the thing is, spinal function is what impacts communication. Spinal dysfunction is what impacts communication between the brain, the body, and your environment. So it can have an impact on how accurately the brain is able to perceive what's going on and how to respond. So if the chiropractor finds a subluxation or a joint that's moving abnormally in this joint dysfunction, this can actually be part of the cause that's giving background noise to the brain, or the brain may not be getting adequate information about what's happening in the spine. So what the chiropractor then does is gently adjust the subluxation, and with that, it removes the interference to the brain and nervous system, and then it restores appropriate spinal movement and brain function. So think of it like when you restart or reboot a computer, it's the same thing with the chiropractic adjustment for the brain and body. So really, what ultimately happens is the removal of the subluxation clears up communication between the brain and the body, and it leads to better function, less accidents, and a healthier you. So that there is the journey of chiropractic, and I really hope that this workshop has given you information to better understand possibly the pain you're going through or your family member or friend is experiencing. And if you're not in pain now, it can give you a better understanding about what has happened in the past, and if hopefully nothing happens in the future, likewise. But I really want to leave off with a final message, that a friendly reminder that health is really about how you feel. It's not the pain, but it's actually rather about the fact that your body can heal. So if you would like to have further support, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. You can comment in the comment section below, or if you want to come and have a chat, you can give us a call at 6299-2660, or you can email us at info@provolutionhealth.com.au. And if you enjoyed today's workshop and you'd like more content and information to check out, please have a look at our Facebook and give us a like. We're at Provolution Health, as well as if you're onto YouTube, search us up, Provolution Health, and I'd love for you to subscribe and drop us a like on any of the videos that you enjoy. So I really hope you all enjoyed today's workshop. It's the first one of the year. Get excited. We have so many more great ones coming up. All right. Take care, everyone.